So I'm doing a little video here showing now bodywork on this side of the car. So yesterday I'd come through, found some more low spots, applied Bondo. Now what I'm going to be doing with this dual action sander, it's Cobalt brand, good stuff, 80 grit sandpaper. I don't like to go anything lower than 80 grit, like 40 or something, because at that point if you get through the Bondo, it's going to cut through it really quick, and then you're going to reach the bare metal and start carving that up and making really deep gouges in, kind of like whoever did this in the past did. So it's always a better bet to start with a higher grit number at first, and then you might fill up the pad a little bit faster, but at least you're not going to cut in so quick. So what we're aiming to do is cut down all of this high stuff to get a lot of focus here, but all this chunkiness and all that crap you're looking to go through with the dual action sander, and it's just going to help knock that down really quick instead of coming through and hand sanding it. And then once it starts to level out like I did here and getting more closer to the white color, you know it's starting to even out, then you can hand sand it. So now that I've got it mostly knocked down to where it's all about white, you can see there's a few areas here where there's still some heavy low spots, like right in there. So now you got to be careful, because either that means a low spot because I just put a lot of Bondo there, or maybe it is an actual low spot. So now you're going to start going over by hand, and you got to get a feel for your panel, comparing it with your hand to the depth of everything else, and kind of feel for those high and low spots, and then we'll come through here with the hand sander and refine this. So this is a product I got from Eastwood, eastwood.com a few years ago, another great place for stuff. And I got 120 grit on here. I like to use 120 now because it still cuts decent, but it's not as abrasive as the 80. And what we're going to use is a crosshatch method, going like this and then like this. Because if you just go straight and straight, if there's bumps and waves, it's just going to continue to follow those bumps and waves. The crosshatch method helps eliminate that and cut it down to try and be as smooth as we can. Try and put as much even pressure as you can so you're not hitting more in one spot than the other, but already it's starting to come around and feeling pretty good. So to help keep yourself saving a little bit of money and not just throwing out a Bondo spreader after each time you use it, just let it dry after you're done using it. Let it sit and dry. All this Bondo will stick on here, but it doesn't really stick to the plastic. Just bend it, it'll start to crack off like this. And then you just pull it all off as much as you can by hand. Then usually what I'll do after I get all this off here, it's got like a blade, scrape the rest of it off, just go through. Some of it might stay stuck on there, but for the most part you want to get all the flaky stuff off. This way you're not reapplying it. All this dried up stuff is getting mixed in with your new Bondo, and just keep going through and clean it. This is one of my favorite things I bought recently. Eastwood makes it, eastwood.com, Bondo mixing palette thing. It's got these wax peel off paper sheets. Makes working Bondo super easy because 3 out of the 4 corners are held down so it doesn't move on you, and then when you're ready, just rip a new piece off just like I did. So got a couple little low spots remaining on the car. I'm about to fill those in, and I'll show you guys how to mix it. So keep a little mixing stick already inside it. Just make sure you go through and get everything all mixed up inside. So I'll just scoop out what I need, lay here on the wax paper, like so. Got back on it, so it should dry out. Alright, showed you how I cleaned this Bondo spreader before, just scraped it off, got it cleaned up. Make sure there's no dust on there. And now, the amount of material I got on here, I'm going to go through and also knead the hardener just in case, again, everything is all one solid bit in there. You don't want it to start to get liquid and hard in one end and separate. It's all kneaded, used this yesterday. I'm going to lay down a strip across the top of it, like that. You kind of eyeball it, but for the most part, too little, and then it's never going to dry, and too much red, it dries way too quick. So now you're going to start kneading it, and as you're going over it, you're just trying to get everything to turn one solid color of pink. So see here, it's got this fancy little grip thing. Just going around, getting it all together, and it starts to turn one solid color. Get this stuff on the side, get everybody all incorporated here. And it's pretty good color. Don't want any streaks, so it won't dry unevenly. Now also keep in mind that the amount that you initially grabbed on the pallet here is hidden. Watch this. Well, you can't really see it, but usually there's some gray stuck in there, so make sure you scoop that off and get it. Alright. Now it's all one solid bit. Now we're ready to go lay it down. I found a little bit of a low spot right there, so I'm just going to kind of lay some on there, and you want to try and get it as flat as you can, like that. And yeah, just gonna do a little spackle in here, auto style, holding the pallet underneath, so if any of it drips down, I'll catch it. Just trying to make everything look nice and even. So, starting to lay down nice and smooth. That's about what you want right there. Just using the crosshatch technique.